Anybody home at the courthouse? Our scouts are reporting a lot of zombies closing in on your location. Might want to tell your sentries to wake the hell up. Hello? Hello? Sounds like they're in a bad spot. Might want to offer them a hand.
Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to State of Decay. As you can see, the courthouse may be having some issues, so I guess we'll go and investigate that. Now this is the final the second last mission for the courthouse. There is only one more after that. I do believe we finished off the Grange. We still have, I think, 2 for the Wilkersons. Oh, hang on. Missed one. There we go. And then we have 3 or 4 maybe for the military over at the fairgrounds. So, oh yeah, one of my trucks that I left here for some reason. My God, look at all them red dots in there.
Heads up. We got zombies coming in.
Now, the nice thing about somebody being eaten is it puts them all into, like, what's considered a down state for the purposes of this. So, like... Oh, fuck. I forgot what button was my dodge. Boosh. There we go. Thankfully, there's a lot of SWAT guys here, so it doesn't really make a difference. But there we go. The judge and the sheriff are now dead. So they killed Carl. Man, what a mess. And they killed the judge. So yeah, this is the second last one. I just want to see if I can find the judge's body. To be fair, I don't know if their bodies are actually here, because since they weren't... Now, here's the thing, right? If somebody isn't a part of your enclave...
Attention citizens. We've had reports of armed civilians attempting to force our patrols to provide supplies. Be advised that I have authorized all troops to respond to such measures with lethal force. For your own safety, remain in your homes and wait for...
There's still a few things to do out there.
That was weird, but whatever. It's also weird. Now, I don't know if that's still playing because I never let it finish. Because I don't think ever once I've actually let it finish. I've always done something that has then interrupted her saying that. Because obviously, as we found out in the last part, the military's gone. They're not here anymore. So by all means, they should not be broadcasting anymore. Oh yeah, Sheriff McLeland. Re-elect him for Trumbull County Sheriff. Well, too late now. Hey, buddy.
Here to help.
Also, I'd like to point out, whoops, not here, that if we go here, our stockpiles are all above except for fuel, which we aren't generating. And the reason for that is because since we're generating everything, when you don't play the game, I think it's every 3rd day that you don't play the game, they actually boost how much you generate. So even though that we should be losing ammo, we should be losing construction materials.
Get moving. Lead on.
Instead, what happens is when you're not online, like when you're not on it, they lower the amount that you use, so it drains it less when you're not there to correct it. It prevents the random events that'll be like -10 of this, you know, like I don't know, like food spoiled, so you lose 10 food or something, you know, whatever shit like that, or like. I know there's one for ammo as well. Construction materials, I want to say, are one as well.
Let's do this.
But they removed all those, obviously, because you're not there, so that wouldn't be fair. And then just in case, like, you know, because you haven't played it in a while, you know, even with the lowered drain, if you're not there to generate anything, they basically balanced it so that if you don't end up playing it every day, you don't get screwed over by the game, you know, running in the background. But the way that they balanced it is, like I said, I think it's every 3rd day, but I'm not 100%.
Keep it up.
That every 3rd day, I don't know if it doubles the amount a generation, like resource generation that you have. But anyway, it increases the amount that you're generating. It gives you a little boost based on what outpost and that you have. Oh, there we go. That one got up finally. Oof. Yeah, we should be good with that amount. They don't seem to want to come out.
Zombies up ahead. Go through or go around?
Well, we're gonna go through. There we go.
That wasn't the last of them.
Get him. And goodbye. Oh, there is still one, but he's like out back. And unfortunately, since this became an infestation, I think... Well, to be fair, I guess it probably had a pretty high chance of being empty as it was. The fuck?
That should do it.
Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted. Oh, right, I don't have any ammo with me anyway.
I'm ready to head home now.
Oh, come on, game. Don't do that to me. It was doing that when it generally does that when it loads in. It has some pretty horrible frame rate when it first loads in because it has to load everything, but like usually doesn't do it there. All right, so I think that was the only actual mission that we had there. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a potential home site house, a gas station, which I think there's one there. Just purely based on the fact that gas is the only thing that we don't have, well, more of than we can store. I figure may as well while we wait for the next story mission to unlock, which will probably be the Wilkersons. I don't think that they will interchange the military ones with them. I don't really remember having to do it. I don't really remember having to do any of the military ones after. Oh, I guess the mechanic shop. The mechanic shop actually has construction materials more often than fuel, so. But yeah, I don't remember having to do the military ones in between doing the rest. Because I remember thinking, you know, when we got there, that we were going to end up doing a bunch of missions there right away over at the fairgrounds. Because when I first played this, so, you know, I immediately built my base there because it's like, oh, it's the same size as the one I have. I mean, that should be good enough, right? Okay, we got a couple of special infected. That one's a military one. Ooh, and that one's a juggernaut. To be fair, though, that one's a juggernaut. Who gave 0 fucks about that. Alright. Yeah, you gonna come for me, big boy? There we go. And now I have no back tires, but that's fine. I am willing to sacrifice tires on any vehicle to get rid of a juggernaut. Alright, let's open up that nicely. Oh, there we go, fuel. I don't really care about the rest of this because, like I said, we don't need anything from here. And there was no gas in here. I guess I may as well just finish searching it then, just so that it's marked. Oh my, look at all of those zombies running this way for some reason. Oh. That one was a military one. Pinged off his helmet there. Okay. Search this. Don't care. Search this. Well, actually, you know what? I'll use one of those just since I am missing a little bit of health. I can't remember which side of this you search from. I love the ninja perk. It makes this searching go by. Well, to be fair, I guess the ninja perk doesn't make it search fast like that. Just having my wits high enough does. Okay, let's see. That's the Alamo. Offices wouldn't... Well, I mean, you have a storage there, which might. Supermarket probably wouldn't have gas. Auto dealership might. Warehouse. Mechanic. fire department, maybe they would have to have gas, right? Okay, well, let's go to the mechanic first. Unfortunately, cannot get a truck fixed. To be fair, I could switch out for that truck there since it has its back tires, but at the same time, I like my military trucks.
Coming in, I think.
Oh, what do we got?
For any more hands, we'd be happy to join you.
Oh, there we go.
You might want to go check it out.
So that, I do believe, is from the, yeah, so we'll go to the mechanic, and then we'll stop over at the courthouse, because that's the last mission, which is literally just go and pick those guys up. Another fucking juggernaut. I feel like they increased how many juggernauts were around. Ugh. And actually, to be fair, if I backed over him, I don't know if that would do much. Alright, we'll take a quick stop here. Those guys are probably coming, but I should be able to quickly get through this. And that's it, just a petrol bomb. Alright, well, you know what? Fuck it, I'll take that. Okay, and then the car dealership is right there. I know that's the donut. No, used cars, there we go, yeah. It looks very much like, or very similar to the donut shop. Oh, that actually might be a gas tank right there. No, it's a chair. It's the back of a chair. Okay, well, all I actually see is a couple desks to search. So I highly, highly doubt that we'll get any fuel from a desk. So now, granted, there could be fuel in any of these buildings, realistically. Or video game-ly, I guess. Not necessarily realistic, but... because I highly doubt that there's very many office buildings, if any, that store fuel. There we go. So yeah, we get these two.
I don't think we're gonna make it much longer on our own.
Well,
I mean,
ready to move.
you don't have to recruit
Let's
them,
move.
but I'm going to, because like I said, it's always the same two survivors from there, and I just don't remember what skills they have. So I figure I may as well take them. Just in case one of them, because like I said, I still need, what is it? Oh wow, he really fucked up my back tires. I still need a fitness guru or whatever the fuck it is. I think that might not be a fitness expert. I think fitness guru is just one of the things that they can be to be one of those. And what the hell's the other thing I need? I need something else too. Oh, green thumb. I need gardener. That's what it is. And once again, green thumb is just one of the things that gives them the gardener ability, not... I think. Which just means that, you know, hey, we grew stuff before the apocalypse. It doesn't even have to be like, I grew stuff...
You got it from here?
Like, professionally or anything. It's just like, hey, I had a garden. Therefore, I know how to garden. Which, to be fair, is, you know, good enough for me. Oh, we are now friends with Raymond. Alright, let's see. He's no good. And Lexi. Oh, I thought her name was Karen. Ah, whatever. Lexi. Looks the same anyway. Natural athlete. Okay, so... And no, neither of them are any good. What did that say? Attitude. Paralyzed. Like, with fear or... Like... in the legs, because one of those we can deal with a lot easier than the other. I mean, for one, there's no real reason to be paralyzed with fear. Paul is sad. That's a shame. I don't know why. I mean, I have the counseling guy there, so I don't know why those are popping up, but to be fair, if our counselor is indeed paralyzed with fear, I guess he wouldn't really be of much use to anybody else.
We can be here. Any hordes that come our way are gonna be
Oh, so we lost 15 sadness, but... No, nothing? I thought that that might raise our happiness. Oh well. Okay, so it doesn't look like this warehouse is going to have anything good. Just materials. Which, to be fair, materials are amazing when you're playing the game, like, consistently. But once again, it's really well, I don't know, exploit, I guess, of the game, in the fact that you can just, you know, we're gonna go search the little neighborhood up here, where you can just shut the game off for a few days, and you're better off than if you had been playing it the entire time. Like, it really makes no sense, but I'm fine with it. It makes very, like I said, they kind of overcorrected.
I got something you might want to see here.
Oh.
Meet me as soon as you can. I could use some backup.
All right, well, we'll go do that immediately. New developments, Lone Soldier, and we'll even go and take our fast car. Because I do believe that this is just a go all the way up there, talk to him, and then go back, or and then you're done type deal. So yeah, we're going to take the fast car to get up there. I will actually mark it. Oh, there it is. Oh, you know what? This actually isn't even the one that I thought it was. Either way, it's still a go up there. See, now that's why I said 3 or 4 missions with the military. Because I knew some, but then there was others that I was a little iffy on whether or not it was a mission. And then there was other things that I remember that I was a little iffy on. And then, you know, I always have to leave room for, you know, my memory just not remembering something. Oh god, I spend so much time in this game driving trucks and that, and they're so much slower than this. Oof. Hey, do you mind? Get the fuck off my car, you bitch. I'm gonna try not to hit everything in my car, which, you know, in a real zombie apocalypse, if you see a zombie and you have the opportunity to take it down, you want to do it. Because obviously that's one less zombie that either you or someone else will have to deal with in the future, you know? Whereas, you know, because video game and infinite spawning, which, you know, is fair enough. Obviously, if they put a limited amount of zombies in the game, then eventually you would just run out of them. And then they would have to deal with, how do we spawn them in? How do we direct them so that they're not psychic to the player, but at the same time the player will run into them? Because, you know, if they just made it where we'll spawn them in around the map and they will react to sounds, there are some areas, like out in the fields, where you may never, like, those zombies may never move. Like, they might just mill around there and never do anything because no sound is ever made. But
Shit. Is he still alive?
Yeah, not for long by the look of it.
Gotta get out of here. I can't stay.
Easy, soldier. What happened to you?
I'm too sick. Left me behind. Left all the sick ones behind. Guess that's why they always say, don't drink the water.
We got a term for this in the Army. That term is FUBAR. You better get going.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
hate to break it to you, but that is not a military term. You know what? Since we're
Okay.
here. And some snacks. All right. Oh.
I've been thinking about what our dying friends said about the water. Right before they locked me out, the science geeks were talking about something they found up at the reservoir. Now I'm thinking we ought to go check it out.
I'm on it.
Let's move out then.
All right. Good. I don't know why you spawned me over here when I clearly left through. Actually, to be fair, I don't know what door I left through. But either way, I'd appreciate if you guys would stop moving my cars. Oh, good. This is actually the same mission. So this is the mission I remember. It just had two parts to it. As soon as I saw where the marker was, I knew that I remembered that part of the mission, but I did not realize that they were actually part of the same mission. This car was definitely not meant to do this, but, well, whatever. Oh, man, I really fucked up the front end of this, didn't I? Oh,
So
well.
what else did you find out? Do you know where the army went?
Bugged out. Well, the ones that weren't sick or hurt, at least. You saw what they did with them. This whole operation's been a chuckle fuck from day one, and your people seem to be the only ones with your heads on the outside of your collective asses. Just sorry your reward for that looks like death by super cholera.
Really? Super cholera? Granted, I'm not up on cholera because I feel like it's not really that big of a deal anymore. I could very well be wrong, but it's just not something you really hear about very often.
Not sure which I regret more.
Alright, so now we get to see why we were so fucked in this place. Yeah. There's a lot of bullets in there, but I have a lot of bullets.
It's the same shit the Geek Squad was carting around when they were trying to find out what caused this.
What's it do?
Fucked if I know. I'm just a professional bullet stopper. They don't waste big words on me. They must have bailed in a pretty big goddamn hurry to leave all this behind. Let's see if we can get a better look.
Yeah, I really am interested in State of Decay 2, just to see how they advance like the actual story. Yeah, see, that's not good.
Oh shit.
Ah, succinctly put. Now, it's been a while since I read my field survival manual, but I'm pretty sure dead guys rotting in your water supply is what's known as a bad thing.
We're gonna have to leave the valley, aren't we? We can't keep drinking this.
There's only one way out if you don't have air support. The pass back by the fairgrounds. It links up with the main highway after about 10 miles. Trouble is, the army blocked it off when they left. Probably trying to stop whatever this is from spreading.
Then how do we get out?
I'm not sure yet. I got a couple of leads I can check out. Meantime, your people ought to start stockpiling supplies. I don't know what things will be like on the outside, but I doubt it's good.
Alright. So yeah, I think we have 2 more missions now to do with the military. Pretty sure it's just 2 anyway. Oh, it's actually not as fucked up as I thought it was. I mean, clearly it's fucked up, but I mean, it could be a hell of a lot worse. Alright.
Think it's gonna be any better outside the valley? I'll give you a hint. Pretty orange lights in the distance aren't sunsets.
I'm assuming she's talking about explosions, but you know, that's not really something that we, as the player, witness. I don't know, maybe you can actually look and see explosions in that, but, oh, what the fuck was that? That was weird. I feel like something just, like, slid underneath my car from the side of the road. Oh, I guess we could actually have went, because there's, like, oh, I shouldn't stop where I am, apparently. Ah, well, whatever. We'll go back up to the neighborhood because it's closer to home. And I'm pretty sure the next Wilkerson mission just ends up being at our base, wherever it may be. So I guess we could also clear this out. Actually, if this is all it is that a drone thing? No, it's not. It's just a trailer.
Area secure.
There we go. May as well, since we're there, and it's apparently just one fucking screamer. Apparently that was the beginnings of an infestation. You know, it hadn't actually got any backup yet. And actually, since the Grange is here, I do believe that since the Grange is here, this place isn't quite as bad as it could be. And since we're here, we may as well stop and check it out. The only thing we need is fuel, and I mean, I use the word need in the loosest sense of the word. I guess if we got any, like, really good guns, that would be alright as well. I mean, I wouldn't complain. That's for sure. I'll take shotgun shells, why not? They could come in handy. Do you like some shotguns? There's really only one more thing that could actually cause us any problem, and that's the final mission. But I'm... And now, granted, I haven't actually went and looked at our gun situation in a while, but I'm reasonably certain that we probably got it covered. Oh, there you go, shotgun.
Nice.
Always up for bringing more guns home. You know, zombie apocalypse and all. I was watching a thing the other day there, and it was about
Confirmed.
the
Is that free here?
The Quiet Place, which is Emily Blunt and her husband, whose name escapes me for some reason. I had it, like, as I started that sentence, I remembered his name and not hers. And then as I got to the names, I remembered hers and forgot his, which is, well, typical for me, actually. Was that it? No, that wasn't it. There's more. Oh, John Krasinski. Got it. Nailed it. I was watching this thing, and it makes me feel sad for people who are political, who are, like, super political, when they watch movies, because they read way too much into movies. Like, I was watching a thing, and he was like, oh, you know, like, the movie is pro-gun because they use guns. And it's like, like, society is over, and you have giant alien creatures. I'm pretty sure, like, the biggest, like, oh, I don't like guns person in the world would be fine with guns at that point, because it's like, you're fucked. I mean, even with guns, they were obviously fucked because, you know, the aliens won. Spoiler alert for, you know, the first 2 seconds of the movie. The aliens did, in fact, beat everyone else.
Hang on. I've got a transmission coming in, I think.
If you're hearing this, we could use some help.
Sounds like they're in a bad spot. I want to
Um,
offer them a hand. Should be on your map.
and it's just like, how can you watch... It's like, it would be like watching a zombie movie and saying that it's pro-gun because they use guns. It's fucking zombies. Now, granted, if you watch the second Zombieland, there is pacifists in that movie, but it's fucking stupid. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's just like, when you're in apocalypse situation against zombies, right? Like, I could see if it was like apocalypse situation, like Mad Max, Waterworld, whatever, where it's people versus people, you know, I could see still being a pacifist.
We could use your help in this area.
Trust me, things are
So,
the army said, yeah,
go.
that's fine. That's
Let's
easy
move.
enough. Hey, are you fucking touching my car, you little bitch? How dare you? But yeah, you know, like, at that point, sure. But when it's like fucking zombies, like, don't like have zombie rights. Just don't be a fucking idiot. And you, shut up over there, bird. Jesus Christ, I wanted to quickly get this done, so I didn't bother to put you away. Hang on a second. Alright, anyway. But yeah, like, it's just, like, retarded, right? And in Zombieland, they proved how fucking retarded it was. Especially since, like, in that movie... Well, I won't say anything about that, because that is rather far into the movie when you actually get to, like, the whole community of them, but yeah, it's just stupid. Because, I mean, like, it's zombies, and it's the same issue that I have with Batman not killing, like, the Joker. It's like, it's fine that you don't want to kill people, but when you don't want to kill people, but when you know that that person not dying is then going to cause more people to die, it's like you are saving one life by like, it's the whole thing, right? Where it's like, think of the greater good, right? And like, the greater good would be to kill the guy who is going to be killing more people, right? Like, the first time Batman fought the Joker and put him away, you know, and without killing him, that's fine. Joker then escapes, kills 10 more people. I imagine it was probably more than that because it's the Joker. But kills a bunch more people. And then Batman once again doesn't kill him and puts him away. I feel like from that point on, every time that Batman doesn't kill Joker and he escapes and kills more people, that those people's deaths are on Batman's hands. Because he's saving the Joker's life by sacrificing everybody that the Joker kills. And that's just the way I look at it. And that's the same as like zombies, right? Where, like, that's the same way I look at zombies. Where it's like, technically you don't have to kill the zombies. Eventually they might die out depending on which like zombie lore you go by. There's some that are immortal. There's some that will eventually just fade out of existence. They'll just decay. But like, in the end, you don't kill a zombie. Nice. That zombie then goes on to kill someone else. You have officially killed that person. Like, I blame you for that more than the zombie because the zombie doesn't fucking know any different. You know? And, you know, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I
All
could
quiet,
see
yeah.
somebody using that. It's like, oh, well, the zombies don't know what they're doing, so what gives us the right to kill them? It's like, it's the same reason why, you know, a man eating, like, a bear starts to attack campers or whatnot. So they form a hunting party and they go get rid of the bear, because they know if they don't, more people are going to die. It's the same with, like, if a dog bites someone, it gets put down. Now, that one, I don't think is right, because it depends on why the dog bit someone. Like, if someone's being a real dick to the dog or its owner and the dog bites them, good for the dog. I mean, like, what do they expect the dog to do? Tell them to stop? No, because it's a fucking dog. It can't do that. What can it do? It can bite. Now, granted, it could, like, body check them. It could headbutt them. It could technically slap them. But, I mean, it's a dog. Its main method of defense is its teeth, right? But anyway, back to the Quiet Place. So they said that was pro-gun. They said the fact that they didn't abort the baby, even though that they would have had access to the drugs that would allow them to do that, meant that it was pro-life, which I also disagree with, because it isn't necessarily pro-life that they didn't abort the baby. I think it's the fact that, you know, at the beginning of the movie, once again, spoiler alert for the first, like, 2 seconds of the movie, they lose a kid, right? They lose a kid, and then she gets pregnant. Now, granted, once again, it's idiotic for them to have had a baby. I mean, it could have been by accident. Like once again, at the very, like, the movie opens. Oh, the fuck! I have multiple things in here. Like, the movie opens with them raiding a pharmacy, I think. So, I mean, obviously they could do that and probably have a lot of condoms.
Okay,
Probably
watch
not a whole
yourself out
lot
there.
of demand for condoms in an apocalypse where they seem to be more or less the only people in the region. Like, you don't see, you see, I want to say, like, one other person in the entire movie outside of their little family, which is, like, the mother, father, and the 2 kids. And, like, now, like I said, condoms not 100% effective, technically. So, I mean, it could have been an accident,
you're
and then,
safe.
you know,
Let's go, let's go.
I think I'm ready to head home now.
since they don't really, like, and, like, they show them praying at the beginning, right? Which meant that they were pro-religion. And it's like, all right, I'll give them that one. Because, obviously, somebody who isn't religious wouldn't pray. You know, now granted, I feel like an apocalypse like that could go either way. It could give people who didn't have any kind of religious faith in the first place, it could give them their faith, because it would make them want to believe in something that could then save them. But at the same time,
Here we are.
I could also see that destroying somebody's faith, because, you know, how could God let this happen, right? So I could see that going either way. But yeah, like the pro-life thing, like I said, if we don't know enough about whether or not they were actually, like, not trying to get pregnant. Like, if they were trying to get pregnant, they're fucking stupid. Because they can't repopulate the earth. And like I said, it didn't, like, once again, we didn't know enough about the world to determine how stupid any of their decisions really were. Like I said, based on the movie, it's just them. Like I said, you see one other person, but they seem really surprised to see them. Which means that they obviously don't have much interaction with anybody outside of their family, if any, right? Like, and, like, obviously, they, being humans and adults, hopefully would know that, you know, well, I feel like he's not in there. I feel like they would know that they cannot populate the earth by themselves, because that kind of interbreeding would very quickly kill off everything, basically. Oh, this door is open, so I should actually be able to just see if they're... I can't see them there.
Anybody home?
Nope. Oh my.
Time to move on.
Aha. Nope. Aha. So yeah, like, obviously, you know, they can't repopulate the Earth, so having more kids doesn't necessarily help. It's just bringing them into a... It hinders their ability to survive because they now have an extra, very loud, crying, needful baby to look after.
We're getting out of here.
Coming to get me. Leave now.
But once again, if there are more people out there, it isn't necessarily as stupid an idea, because if there is enough people out there, they could technically repopulate the Earth. I think I looked it up because I needed to know for the book that I'm writing. Well, I guess I didn't technically need to know. I could have just said whatever I wanted, but I needed to know for it. And with supreme planning and direction, you could technically repopulate the planet with a start, or like you can technically survive and not have, or minimal anyway, genetic mutations. And I mean minimal as in like no like interbreeding thing, like genetic mutations, like obviously if there's any hereditary genetic things that'll still be there, but like
We got it from here.
for no like
You saved me.
side effects from like incest or anything, you actually only need 50 people. Now, granted, I will say that with that 50 people, it would require a lot of planning. Like, you would have to spreadsheet who gets to bang who, basically, for that to actually be, like, a viable population size. But at the same time, it's the apocalypse. I mean, if you're trying to rebuild society, I mean, what can you do, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of fucking restrictions as humanity rebuilds. So yeah, unfortunately, hey, I love this person. It's like, that's fine. You can love that person, but you have to have sex with this other person so that, humanity can live. Now, granted, the way humans are, that probably wouldn't work and they would go down. Now, to limit it even more and require less effort, I do believe that you need like 1,000. Like, that's the difference, right? It's like, if you're going to follow direction, if you're going to plan it out and follow the rules, you only need 50. If you're not, you need like 1,000. Because the odds of anybody there we go, nailed them. Because then that obviously decreases the odds of incest. Now, granted, I say incest. Obviously, there is a point where you're going to sleep with somebody that you're distantly related with. But to be fair, that could happen in real life too. I mean, it depends on how distant the relation is, though, as to whether or not genetically, biologically, it would have an impact. So once again, without knowing enough about the universe of The Quiet Place, we don't know how stupid an idea it was for them to get pregnant, especially if we don't know if they were actually trying. And we'll take grenades. But yeah, that was like, they were pro whatever life because of that. And like, I was listening to this thing. Welcome to my Quiet Place review, apparently. And like, as I was listening to them talk, I just felt bad for them, because you have to assume that they go into every movie thinking like this, right? Where it's like, oh, they're using guns for good, therefore it's pro-gun. It's like, oh, they did this, therefore it's pro-this. Oh, they did this, so it's pro-this. And it's like, it's a fucking movie. I can guarantee you that they put more thought into it than the writer. The writer was probably like, all right, we got aliens, they're blind, they hunt by sound. So this, and this, right? Like, that's why they do this, that's why they do this. They're going to have guns to defend themselves. Now, granted, I will admit that the guns didn't seem to do anything. Like, the things did seem to be bulletproof. So, I mean, the fact that they were using guns was kind of like, because all they would do then was create noise, in theory. Oh. There we go. Which is obviously not good. But, at the same time, you need to defend yourself. And the fact that they were carrying guns does lead me to believe that there are humans out there that do, or at least there was. Like, we also don't know how soon after. I don't think we learn anyway how soon after everything got destroyed that the movie takes place. God, still no fuel, eh? So, I mean, like, there could have been maybe raiding parties of humans stockpiling resources. For all we know, they were part of it. They were. They did stockpile and raid other people for resources. I don't know. Like I said, we don't really know enough about the movie. So that would make the guns make sense to be used. But, you know, once again, the guns may not kill them, but that doesn't mean that they don't slow them down, which sometimes is all you can really hope for. Is just, you know, to slow them down. I can't remember, there was another movie where that was basically all the guns were used for, and like they gave the guy the gun and he's like, will this kill it? It's like, no, but it will slow them down, which is all that you really need. Or all you can really ask for. But yeah, I mean, and like, I watched that movie and I fucking love the movie. And you know what? I didn't think any of that. And like, that's the same one. What kind is that anyway? It just says Fireball. Right? And it's just one of those things where it's like, and like watching a lot, like, cause like I watch movie reviews every now and then. I say movie reviews. I watch CinemaSins mostly. But I do watch movie reviews occasionally. And even like video game reviews. And like some of the shit that people say, it's like, why did that even occur to you? It's like, why were you looking at that part of that movie or game and think, and fucking Christ. Okay, well, since my capture shut down, even though I made fucking sure that my computer was plugged in this time and charging, it still apparently somehow unplugged itself or stopped charging. The cord is fucked on it, which is why it does this. But anyway, we're close enough probably that we can end it here. I'll stop my rambling about A Quiet Place and people who put way too much thought into bits of movies that just were put in there because of logic. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.